And we are live. What we have today is an iPad. Oh, sorry. I just worked on an iPad. What we have today is another PS5 with a loose port. Let me go ahead on my Facebook. On my... Okay, on my YouTube. Alright, so we're going to go straight to the repair. This thing is loose like a goose. So let's go under the hand cam. Mic check, mic check. Alright, you said you can't hear on the other camera, but that's why it is kind of bad, but I'm done on this side. Yeah, it was on the other camera, but I just changed the camera around. Is there another screw up here? Because this motherfucker ain't budget. Okay, right here. And it should be a black one. I think I already moved the black one from right there, yep. So this should pop up. There you go. And that's the port. Look at it. The port is just sitting inside the... Let's go into the hand cam. I'm sorry, under the microscope. The hand cam already was under it. And this is the port. And we have one missing ground pad, so we're not going to worry about the ground pad. I have one missing ground pad right here. If it was the other lines, like these little pads right here, we definitely need to jump them, but not that ground pad. We have a lot of ground pads. So what we do is right now remove these anchor legs and solder a new port. This is his old port. It just broke, snapped in half, which is crazy. So what we do is flip the motherboard around, turn on our iron heat, and while my iron warms up, let me go grab a port real quick. And 1 second, I want to go ahead and add a mic on my hand cam. Mic check, mic check. Alright, I got the mic working on both cameras right now. And let's go ahead on with this repair. My mic lifted up so you guys can hear me better. So the first thing we do is apply flux, and then we'll get the low melt solder to lower these anchor legs temperature so we don't use too much heat. And we got the low melt right here. I just dropped it. Yeah. Okay, we just apply a little bit low melt right here. Alright, all we're doing is mixing our low melt with the company's solder so we can be able to remove them quick and without applying too much heat. Okay, that's good enough. As long as it mixes, we go ahead and flip it around and we'll get our heat. To remove these anchor legs, we will need 500 with 120. And let me grab my old tweezer. I don't want to mess up my new one. And you can add some flux to help these out. So on the newer version, they removed the it wasn't a capacitor, it was a diode that's sitting right here, and I think they moved it to the back side of this motherboard. Alright, let's go ahead and focus on one at a time, but I want to keep the heat going around so we can keep the board warmed up. This one looks like it's coming off before the other one. Alright, keep it on. Alright, let's focus on this one now. And let's focus on that one. Alright, so what we do right now is we need to bring our wick to wick these holes. So we bring the wick down right here. And we bring our heat again. Alright, let me break that piece of wick, because when it stops sucking solder, that's when you need a new piece of wick. And let's do it again. Drop the wick down, and you can grab your heat so it can help the iron a little better. Okay, let's come to this side. Alright, we need another piece of wick. Yep, another piece of wick. Drop it down, and wick again. Alright, let me go on the other side and try to wick that last little hole. Alright, so let's flip it around and try to wick that little hole on that side. Let's get that flux and the wick. Yeah, you see, that's that diode that they moved on the back side. Instead of it being on the front side, they put it on the back side. Alright, that looks good. So let's go ahead and clean, drop the new port, and reassemble everything, test, and call the customer. Alright. We got the new HDMI port right here, and the anchors. The other one broke in half. I don't know how, but let's drop it. Zoom in. Let's see. This one got to shift over. Alright, so let me get that flux while I'm holding the connector down. Can you guys see or no? Be right with you. I got a customer, guys. I'll be right back. I'm gonna just apply just a little solder just to hold the connector down. So when I come back, be right with you, boss. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. Give me a second. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. I am back, and let's go ahead and add a little more flux and finish soldering these little pads. Not pads, sorry. What the F happened to my scope? We just went all the way down. Trying to focus it. There you go for you guys, so you can probably see better. So what we do is spread that solder around. And I'm gonna grab my heat gun just to help my iron. This by applying a little bit of heat, not too much heat. Okay, now all of these are soldered. And let's flip this around. After you flip it around, let's go ahead and apply more flux. Okay. And get your iron and your that solder, make sure it flows all the way in. We'll look at on the other side, make sure that the solder did float in. We'll make sure it goes all the way down. Okay, let me add a little more flux and get some more solder paste on my iron to go over these pads one more time quickly. Okay, and this one quickly. And let's go ahead and flip it. And you see how we have solder floated up? And that's how the job's supposed to be done. If you don't have solder on this side, you gotta flip it back around and apply more solder. But we are done. We're just gonna clean our flux. Yep, just clean it. Wipe it. Let it go back like factory. There we go. Flip this around. Well, it's not like factory, it's better than factory. And that's it. Let me just clean this area and zoom in on the legs. You see that? Everything should be solid in the spot and not moving left or right. This one will move, but that's the ground pad. We have one ground pad. We got two ground pads, three. We got, if I'm not mistaken, this is also a ground pad. So we got a few ground pads. We're not going to worry about that one broken one. Like I said, if it was one of these traces, if it was one of these main traces, we definitely have to fix that. But everything looks good. So let's go under the hand cam and let's reassemble this. Yeah. We're gonna just put one or two screws, test it on the TV, and then I'll end the live like I always do. And that's it. A few more seconds, we'll be able to test it on the TV. I think this was a digital version. Yeah, sure was. Okay, let me grab a screw. I think we had a screw right here somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just make sure. Yep. So I'll hold that down and bring this right here. Alright, so that's enough screws. I'm plug in the LED light and put this the way it needs to go. Okay, so that screw didn't belong here. It belonged next to it. Or maybe not. I know there was a silver screw on this side somewhere. Okay. Yep, I see it. So let me just remove this right here. And the silver screw goes right over these, I think, NAND chips or memory cards. Memory SSDs, whatever they call them. Alright, so put this back down. And I just put one or two more screws to hold that shield down. And we'll go to the TV. Alright, we got black cable, we got white cable, and we have white on top and blue on the bottom. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is go on the TV. Excel. Hello. Okay, so we turn on the TV. We get our HDMI cable and we get our power cable. Set this down. Press the power button a few times until you hear it beep. There you go. And we wait for it to show up white light on the system and something to show up on the TV. Okay. It's still blinking blue light, so it's loading up, so give it a minute. It's still on blue light. There you go, white light, and it's loading up. After it finishes loading up, it will... Can you guys see, or should I zoom in? Okay, the TV just went off. Give it a second. The system turned off, and it's going to come right back on. And there you go. You can see the PS logo. And the system is ready. I'm going to go grab a controller. I'll be right back. We have a PS4 controller. It will work with a PS4 controller if you're playing PS4 games or just navigating through the system. So we just connect the controller, press the middle button, press OK. Be right with you, boss! And we're going to end the video right here, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos.